the doors open and one of my arms just gave out.
No way.
And just all these glasses fell on the floor. Like there was like the New York Times was there.
Really? Wow.
Please clap.
Okay, that's starting it with a yawn. That's a good sign.
It's not.
First of all, before we begin, stop making fun of my lips in the comments. All right, I'm on Accutane. I was just telling Frankie one of the clips we posted. No comments about the video. It was just the top comment was a cactus emoji and a lip. So
That's the good thing about the internet. Is that like your friends don't gotta tell you things, you know? Like I was gonna tell him, but it's a good thing somebody already commented it, so now he knows.
well, the funny thing about the chapped lips is people will. I feel like it's the only thing people will tell you. They'll be like, "Hey," like Leo is like, "You gotta lick your lips, bro." It's like, God damn it, dude. Just anyway. Well, this is Frankie Hoy. Welcome.
Thank you. Am I the first Mexican you've had?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Is that an honor for you? Is that something you think about a lot? Is when you're the first Mexican in a?
It's hilarious because I'm from Southern California, and over there it's only Mexicans.
Yeah. Sick.
Like moving to New York, like this is I was talking to somebody. I was like, this is like the most white friends I've ever had, ever. And then they told me this is the first time that I've had like the most diverse mix of friends that weren't all white.
Yeah. Normally, I'm not friends with Mexicans. No, I've had Mexican friends. Well, that's cool. What? How close did you live to Mexico?
Right across the border, dude.
Did you go there?
Yeah,
a lot?
I'm from Paris, California, which is like probably like almost 2 hours from Mexico.
Did you go there a lot?
To TJ? No. Well, for my braces, I suck? My dad spent all this money on braces for me, and I lost the retainers like
Really?
like the first weekend.
You ever like get into some trouble in Mexico? I feel like is it dangerous at all or no?
No, see, because the people that get in trouble are people that don't respect fucking TJ. Because TJ is like, it's like no man's land. You know, like you go but you gotta know, that's where you have to behave. Because you're not a badass. That's where you have to behave. So people would think like, oh, parties, no laws, which is true. But also, dude, all these cops are just gangsters that want to get bribed.
I see.
You know, so they'll catch you and they'll like be like, all right, well, we'll give me $100. You know, and or they'll just drive you up to the mountains and then just scare the shit out of you. I haven't got involved in any of that, but I've heard all these stories from people that don't behave in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta behave.
they drive you up to the mountain?
My homie was. It's not my story to tell. My homie told me he got caught trying to film inside of a strip club, and that they kicked him out, and then like the bouncer pointed at him and was like, "Yo, like take this." Like they cuffed him to the truck, and then they want to go have a beer at a bar, and they were just waiting in the truck, and then they came out, and then they were like driving up to the mountains. That's where the jailhouse was at. And then he was like, "Yo, what are you guys gonna do?" He's like, "Well, you could spend it's Friday. You could spend the weekend in jail, or just give us each $40." And then my homie was like, "Make it 20." And he's like, "What?" No, he's like, "Right, you're gonna stay in jail." And he's like, "No." So they paid up, and they're like, "All right," they uncuffed him. Like, "You're free to go." And then but they were just in the mountains.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You a big strip club guy?
I was. I enjoy them, dude. I enjoy them. One time I tried to go sober and it wasn't fun.
Yeah, I don't really like. I like the. I like the peg for sex part of the strip club. I don't like the looking, and I'm just like I went in once. I was like my friends like, "You guys want to sit?" I'm just like, "No, I'll walk right up to a girl. Like, let's just get the private room now. Fuck it. I don't need to sit here and waste money watching you guys."
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. Yeah, dude. But one time I was like DD for the homies, and they were like, "Let's go to the strip club." And I was like, "All right." And then I went and I ordered a non-alcoholic beer for some reason, and I sat there just sober, drinking like basically seltzer water, going, "This sucks."
Yeah.
And like they're trying to talk to you and trying to, and like I like when you're sober, I'm just like trying to make regular conversation with them.
I like looking at the guys in the audience more than the chicks because I'm just like, who are these dudes?
Yeah, dude. And like, there's always like one guy that came with too much money and he's just throwing it at them.
Yeah, or like an old guy that like is some dad to somebody that like you might know and like.
Dude, that's my biggest fear. Is like it's not my biggest fear, but it's like running into somebody that I work that my family works with that I know, just bringing them to there and be like, what do you do in that situation? Do you stay and hang out? Like, oh well, like we're here. We already paid the cover. It was $20. I'm not gonna leave out of embarrassment.
Right.
I'm gonna hang out here.
Dude, me and Noah, we went to we were like walking back. I forget where we were, but we were walking back. And we were like a little buzzed, barely. And we were like, we passed the strip club. We like, want to go in? And we're like, sure. And we paid $20, went in, sat down. The lady came over. She's like, all right, what are you guys drinking? We're like, oh, we don't want anything right now. She's like, you got to get a drink. And we looked at each other like, want to get out of here? He's like, yeah. Oh. And we just left right away, paid $20 to just like, because you can't be like, you can't ask for it back. You saw stuff, you know?
Dude, I went to a strip club in Ensenada, which is like a little further down than TJ. I swear to God, dude, this was the fucking open mics of strip clubs.
Really?
Hey, dude, we walked in, the floor was wet. We're like, what? Like, oh, what the fuck? And then like one of the bathrooms had overflowed, and then there was just water, and I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Ew.
And then there was one stage. Behind the stage, they were playing hardcore porn. And like, we're like, all right, dude, like that's just reminding me that I should have just stayed home and watched porn.
Yeah, you know? Right. Like I don't need to see.
Yeah, I don't. And the people in the porn, obviously, and it was 80s porn, and they were like way harder than the girls that were dancing. And like, there was a girl that she looked like she was a friend with one of the strippers, and she was, she wasn't like like top tier stripper material, if you don't know what I mean. And like you could tell her first like egging her on to go up, right? Like, come on, like just go up, we ought to do it. She was like, all right. And she took off like her regular clothes, and she was just like in underwear. And she went up and she started like dancing. Her friends were just cheering her on, and it was me, my friend, and my girlfriend, and my other homie. And then my friend's like, dude, I feel bad. And he's like, I'm gonna go give her $1.
No way.
And he goes and he threw $1 at her, and everybody just like jumped and cheered, like, wow, she's doing it.
That's awesome.
My homegirl went in the bathroom. She was like knocking, and then like a stripper came out, and she goes in and she forgot to flush, and it was just a piece of shit. So we call it a little stripper caquita. Just floating, dude. And the next day we were talking about it, dude. I imagine it. I threw up out of grossness.
Really?
This is disgusting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, you gotta be careful. You gotta choose what strip clubs to go to, man, because some of them are just like that. And
dude. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about in this, but my friend once, we went to one for my birthday, and he was like, dude, like there was one, the lady was the hottest girl ever, and she sat down to talk to me, and she's like, yeah, it's my first day, like, I was like, yeah, I totally, and we're just chatting, like, I'm like not flirting with her at all. My buddy's like, you like her? I was like, yeah, she's cool, like, she's just awkward because she's never done this. He's like, get a private room with her, I'll pay. It was like, and it was in Times Square. I watched him swipe for $600.
No way.
For 20 minutes, and I'm just in there, and she's like dancing on me, and we're talking, and she's like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm allowed to do in here. Like, I'm like, it's cool. What? I don't know. And like,
shit.
And it was, but she was the hottest girl I've ever seen. And
for reals? In your life?
Yeah, like, but in person.
$600? That's insane, dude. That's too much money.
Yeah, and it would have been. Probably should have been more for like tip and stuff, but she didn't know, and I didn't know either. And Times Square though, dude. They got. I mean, they also have some like not so attractive people, but she was. Yeah,
that's insane.
All right, well, now that we got all the strip club stuff out of the way, so Frankie, tell us where you live.
I live in my home. I live in my house.
Yeah,
no, I live in a van, dude, and I almost got out of it because I don't like being the fucking van guy, you know. Like,
I know, that's why I asked you if I could talk about it because it seems like you're kind of over the van.
Yeah, dude, I got it for time management because in California, I was a truck driver. That was my and I had this route. I would go from Riverside, California to Las Vegas, Nevada every day. It's like a 12-hour day, you know. And then I would get out and I would rush over to do an open mic, and then I'd rush back to my apartment, which is further from my job, and I'd sleep for like 2 hours. And I'm like, this sucks, dude. I'm paying $1,000 and I'm never here. I'm here only on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this, dude. So I stopped paying for the apartment. I canceled the lease or whatever.
Yeah.
And I got this van, and and then I didn't know that it was like a thing. Local van life, I don't know that was a thing. Like I just thought, like, dude, because I was already sleeping in my car a lot too. I was like, I'm already sleeping in the car most of my life. Most of my days in the truck, in the semi-truck. It has a bed in the back. I sleep there all the time. Like, dude, I'm gonna just get a van, build a bed in the back, and just do that. And then so I started doing that, and then like, you know, I have the joke. Then the fucking pandemic hit, and then I just had a van. So I wasn't living in the, because I got this shit in 2020, in like the end of 2019, and I had the van, but I wasn't always sleeping in it. I was staying at my friends. I was just on her couch. And well, yes. Anyways, that's the whole reason why I got the van was the time management. It wasn't like I'm gonna be the fucking van guy and I'm gonna travel and do this. And that.
Yeah. No, I know.
But it does come in handy over here in New York because I don't gotta pay for rent. Plus, it's funner. You just kick it and drink.
Yeah.
This is what the move I liked about coming to New York is that all my friends are comedians. So my life is just comedy.
Yeah.
It's just stand up, dude. That's the shit. And then so you like I hit you up. What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm going to a mic. Sick. I'll meet you there. Or what are you doing? You know, I'm gonna go watch the show. I'll see you there. Like that's my life over here. It's the shit. It's revolved around what I want to do. In California, dude. As much as I love it, that's where all my homies are at. My homies that aren't comedians. I could either go sit, you know, in an open mic, you know, wait maybe like 3 hours. They're just gonna suck. Go up, do 5 minutes, and come back. Or I can go hang out with like my homies, you know, who they're gonna go out to drink. They got at bars or they're kicking at the apartment, all hanging out, drinking something. A lot of the times I just hang out with the homies. And I'm like, dude, like if I really want to do a stand up, if I want to be a fucking comedian, I gotta just leave everybody I know and just come and just build a new life with only comedians. And that's what's happening right now, dude. And that's the shit.
Well, that's cool. You know? So you're not even. How often are you working?
I work. Well, I don't know. I work for like a catering company, and they'll hit me up like randomly to work, like 2 times a week, 3 times a week, maybe. And they pay really. It's like $26 an hour. Dude, it's a high-end catering company, and like the mayor, like he showed up to like random events, and one time like they like before it opens, they'll have me and another waiter like standing with like a tray holding a bunch of like wine glasses full of wine. So when they come in, we go, oh, welcome to the events. You know, take a glass. But these assholes will have us wait there, dude, like 30 minutes before they open the door. So I'm just sitting with like my hand shaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So one time this event, there was a live band, and I was like, I'm gonna just fucking, you know, to distract myself. I was just like dancing and stuff. I was like, ooh. And one of the managers looked at me like, what are you doing? And I was like, whatever, dude. Like I'm not dropping it. But then I was like, maybe I should stop dancing because I'll probably drop him. And I stopped dancing. The doors open and one of my arms just gave out.
No way.
And just all these glasses fell on the floor. Like there was like the New York Times was there.
Really? Wow. Did they just the mayor's like, oh my God. Were they pissed at you or?
No, dude. I don't know if they were. I just walked away. I was like, oh, well, this sucks. And then I walked away to go get a mop. And when I came back, they were all like panicking and cleaning it.
That's awesome.
Dude, just to think of me as a fucking, as a waiter is hilarious. Because I'm a truck driver, dude. I'm a truck driver. I'm a comedian. Like, and now I'm just like, oh, would you like more wine?
Yeah. Dude, do you ever like do you get to drink or eat while you're there?
Yeah. We've gotten like pretty drunk a couple of times.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
You went to, didn't you cater a Jaden Smith event?
Jaden Smith, the Will Smith's son.
Yeah,
dude.
Was that any cool or?
What's his name? Justin Bieber was supposed to be there, but
that's what Justin Bieber was supposed to be there. No way, yo, that's awesome. But he didn't show up.
Yeah, it was the day that his face got paralyzed.
Oh, okay.
It was at a Samsung store, which is hilarious.
No way.
Yeah, because like you know how he's like sponsored by Samsung.
Yeah.
So it was at a Samsung store, and like I pulled up. I was like, wait, this is where the after party's gonna be at. Yeah, but it was pretty cool. It was kind of whack, but
damn. You told me just a hard transition here. You told me that you almost saw somebody die yesterday.
Yeah, dude. Me and Luke Davis, we were leaving a mic yesterday, and there was an old man on the floor, like on some steps. He was like bent over, like backwards, dude. Like he looked like. Have you seen that picture of Iggy Pop? When like he's like on stage and he's like that,
yeah, with
like his head touching his heels.
Yeah.
He was almost like down on some steps, and people were just walking by him, and like I stopped, and like Luke was telling me a joke, and I was like, "Is that guy okay?" And then Luke was like, "You just ruined the punchline of my joke." And I was like,
"No way, fuck you, Luke. That's crazy."
And I was like, "No, but look." And then we looked, and he was like, "Oh shit." You know, like in the city, there's a lot of like heroin addicts or like drug addicts and shit, or like homeless people. I was like, he doesn't look homeless. You know, and we're just staring at him for like a while, like probably like 2 minutes. We're like, dude, like trying to figure out if he was homeless or on drugs. And he had a cane and was wearing rings and stuff, and he had a regular shirt. He didn't look dirty. We're like, dude, like maybe he's having a stroke or a heart attack. And she were like, shit, dude. And then he was like, Luke was like, should I call it in? Like if he was like part of the EMT.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, fuck it, call it. And then he called. And then like they told him like, oh, what does he look like? Blah blah blah, this and that. And
they were like, oh, he's just homeless probably.
No, yeah, that's so something like, well, like if you put him on the side, you can leave or you can stay there and make sure he doesn't like throw up like in his mouth and dies. And he's like, all right. So Luke tells me this. Luke was like, we should put him on the side. And I was like, I don't want to touch him. And Luke was like, yeah, I don't want to touch him.
Were you like talking to him or
yeah, we were yelling at him, but he wasn't responding. But like he was like breathing. And we're like, should we put him on his side? Like a kind of crowd was like forming around us.
Yeah.
And then like it was just us looking at him. I was like, I hope nobody thinks that we fucking knocked them out. Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's like people were like stopping and like go. And then we were like, we don't want to put him like I don't want to touch him. I was like, dude, what if I touch him? Like he's like dirty. I was like, I got things to do later. I don't want to wash my hands. Like we're running away to go eat. So, and then
I love how it's just like a very charitable thing you're doing, but somehow still selfish.
yeah, well, so like, and then Luke was like, all right, you grab that arm and I'll grab this arm, and we'll like lift him up and we'll put him on his head. And I was like, what if he hits his head? And I was like, ah. And then Luke was like, all right, here, let's do this. There's a bodega over there. We'll go get some gloves and like we'll come back we'll put on the glove. Oh, I still have them.
You touched him with those gloves.
Yeah, no.
Now you're touching him.
No, oh no, hold up. So we go to the bodega, right? And we tell that guy like, hey, there's a guy overdosing over there. We don't want to touch him. They have like bags you could put on your hands or gloves. And the guy was like, oh my god, like he's overdosing. He was like Jesus. And he's like, yeah, we got these gloves right here. And then he gave them to us. And like the owner comes out. He's like, what happened? He told him. He's like, oh, $2 for the gloves. We're like,
no way.
Yeah, sort of god. Geez. So we paid the
Wait,
guy.
he followed you out. Like,
No. He didn't follow us out. Like he sold us the gloves, and like they weren't even for sale. So we
just one pair of those rubber gloves.
Two pairs, one for me and one for Luke. So it was $1 each. And then we walked back,
Wow.
and then like we're putting on the gloves. We're like getting mentally prepared to flip them on the side, and then the ambulance comes. Like it came pretty quick. The ambulance was here, and we're like, oh, we wave him down. We're running the gloves. We're like, well, we should take him off. They're gonna think that we're like, they were gonna help. And we took him off. And I swear to God, dude, the ambulance gets there, and the guy goes, oh, and he gets up like normal.
No way.
And we're like, and then Luke was like, I swear to God, this is the most responsive he's been. We thought he was dead.
Yeah.
We were like embarrassed, dude, that we made like a whole thing. And then he got up like nothing. And so he went from like almost being dead to just like not wanting to go to the hospital. And we're like, asshole, you couldn't have responded to us. And then the chick was like, well, you wanna know what you take, what you do? And then like, I was like, I'm fine, I didn't take anything. And then we just walked away.
Isn't it weird how you're like the guy in that position? You're like, oh, he doesn't look homeless, so that alarms you. That must be like that. And then you realize like, oh, homeless people that are overdosing, people just walk by it because they're like, he's homeless.
That's why if you're homeless, you should be clean. Because then I'd call an ambulance.
Yeah, I get that's why. Yeah.
And then like Luke was saying like, dude, like what if like we just like fucked him? Like they take him to the hospital, like we should just put him down. Just like euthanize him. Yeah. Is that what it's called? Euthanize?
Yeah, euthanize. Damn, that's crazy, dude.
I don't know what like one time I was trying to tell my mom that I didn't feel strong, and I told her I feel impotent.
Impotent? What does that mean again? Like you can't get hard?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Or you can't get pregnant? Or you can't get somebody pregnant? I think it means you can't.
No, that's barren.
What is it? Barren? What is it? Impotent. I don't know. I just told my mom I felt impotent. She was really, I don't think you're using the right word.
Damn. I was at the mic the other day at Black Cat, and one comedian like unironically was like calling homeless people the unhoused. Oh, and somebody laughed when he said that, and he got mad. I don't know. To me, it's like you're just that's not helping anybody but you. You've just gentrified the word so you can say it without feeling bad. Like, I feel the offensive thing is to just assume somebody's homeless because they're dirty. Like that's what's offensive. But it's also like, why do you make the word? It's like leave the tragedy in the word. You know, like don't like make it like, oh, the this or that. Like when you make it sound like it's not a big deal by like it's like, well, all right, it's easier to forget about them because you're making the word sound nice. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I get that. I mean, am I homeless?
No. You. No, because you have a home you have a van. Where do you park the van?
Sleep around here, actually.
Didn't you? You said you found a spot to park it through stand up.
Yeah, I was complaining about it on stage because I was been in the city for about 3 weeks and I kept on like having to wake up at 6 a.m. to move it and just driving around. So I was complaining. I was like, this sucks, dude. And I need an apartment. And like I keep getting tickets, and then some guy was like, I know where you can park. Like a guy in the. He was like, I know where you can park. I was like, and he told me that he has a buddy that's a bounty hunter, and he lives in an RV, and he parks in Queens, and he's been there for about a couple years. And he was like, so you can just, and he told me around where. And I was like, cool. So I drove my van to Queens, and then I found the RV, and I was like, oh, and I just parked right behind them.
So now your neighbor is a bounty hunter?
Well, I don't know why he moved, because he moved like last month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then it's funny because like I know who it is, and his
does he even know who you are? Like he doesn't know that you knew him through stand up, through some guy ratted him out. None of that.
No, he doesn't know anything about me. So I'm fucking his bounty hunter. But
That's awesome.
his RV is like decked out like if it's like a nail place, like a manicure place.
Really?
Yeah, like there's like oh, come get your nails done here, and I'm like, I know what you really do.
Oh, well, he's like, it's a front.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I wanted to make my van a front. I wanted to put like a big magnet on the side that said Frankie's paper shredding pickup,
That's cool.
because then they know that I don't have any tools in there. You know, if about Frankie's construction.
Oh, so you don't get like
people-
robbed?
Yeah, and then the paper shredding, people just think I work there. So people think that it's just like paper shreds in there. But
Oh, that's interesting. Like whatever however you brand it will make it so that. Has anybody ever tried to break into it at night? Have you ever?
I don't think so. I'm a heavy sleeper,
Yeah,
so I hope not.
that would be. Yeah, I mean, they just open it and be like, oh, it's just a dude.
And you know, the only thing I have to defend myself is like a crowbar.
That's a pretty good defense, man.
And then
you got robbed the other day, didn't you?
Shit, yeah, I did. I did get robbed. That shit.
What
sucked.
happened?
It's
You
funny.
don't have to tell any
no,
punchlines of it. Just-
No, I know it's funny because like now like just like an experience of my life, like getting robbed. I'm like, well, I don't want to tell it because it's a joke now. But no, I'll tell. I was drunk on the train, dude, and I fell asleep and I missed my stop by one stop, and it's like the stop I missed it by. It's like there's like a bunch of nice hotels, a lot of like rich Asians that go there, and I don't know why I had to say that they're rich Asians. It's just a fact.
Sure.
So I got off the train and I was like, all right, I could just wait for the next train and go back one stop, or I could just walk. I'm like, it was like 3 a.m, and I was like, I'll just walk, dude. I mean, it's like a nice night
Yeah.
or morning. It's a nice almost morning. And then I started walking back, like a really nice hotel. And then I heard like a guy like whistled at me, and I was like, oh, it's no good. And I walked faster, and he like, him and his homie like ran up in front of me, like he got in front of me, and his homie got behind me. And then that fool was like, yo, I'm gonna need about $20. And I was like, oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
it?
Yeah, and no, hold up. I'm not a bitch. I was like, oh, okay, sir. And then I told him, I was like, I was like, I don't got $20, dude. And he put his hand in his pocket, and it was, nah, man, I'm gonna need about $20. And I was like, oh, all right, I see what this is. So then I remember I had $16 in my wallet, and I pulled it out, and I was like, well, here's this all I got. And then he's like, nah, me and my cousin both need $20. And I was like, I'm literally like, this is all I got. And he took it from me, and he's like, all right. And then like I was like waiting for him to take my wallet or my phone, and I was like, all right. And I like kind of kept walking, and he was like, yo, we didn't rob you. You gave this to us. And I was like, oh. And I was like, all right. And then he kept walking by, and he went, yo. And I was like, ah, he's gonna shoot me like back. And he was pretending to hold a shotgun, like a air shotgun.
Yeah.
He went, God bless you. And I was like, ah.
Really?
It was like mostly annoying than it was scary. And then he just like walked away. And then that was funny because before.
Do you think he had a weapon of any kind on him?
I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, of course not.
Because somebody sent in the group chat the video of somebody getting stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, we're in a comedy group chat, and they sent a video of a guy getting stabbed and dying right on the spot.
Yeah, so that was like in my head, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever he has in his pocket, dude. I don't want. It's $16. I'm not gonna fuck. And like from it not happening at all, this was the best case scenario.
Yeah.
I was like I kept everything except for $16.
Yeah, no, that was cool of him.
And yeah, that was cool.
Good guy.
Yeah,
in the end.
I get Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
No, and what's funny about it, I haven't told my girlfriend yet, so it's probably she's gonna find out about it, which is hilarious. But I was on the phone with her, and then
While it was happening?
yeah, well, like the guy was like, "Yo," and like when he whistled at me, I hung up real quick on the phone, and then it all happened. I called her back, and she was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "No, nothing. It's cool." And then I just like continued the conversation because I didn't want to let her know. I wanted to like make it funny, make it into like a bit, and then tell her so she wouldn't be like, "Oh, worried."
I like how he said that line though about we didn't
rob you.
you gave it
it
to
some-
us. It's
yeah.
like, okay, well, like what are we in an interrogation room? Like who is he saying that for, you know? Like,
yeah. I wasn't wearing a wire.
were they mean mugging you? Did they look pissed?
Yeah, they look intimidating. Like when I seen the joke, like robbing someone, it's a performance.
Yeah.
And they did a good job.
Yeah.
But and then
Oh, that is. I like how you said that. That is really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, dude, here's this story, dude. My cousin, like he like would sell weed and shit. One time I met up with him, and I bought some off him. I was like, all right, whatever, see you later. And he crosses the street. This is back in Paris. He crosses the street, and then I just hear, oh, so you're the weed guy, huh? Yo, you're the weed guy. And he was like, oh, and I look, he's surrounded by 3 dudes. And
No
I'm like,
way.
and I was like, shit, dude. And I was like with my girlfriend at the time. I was probably like 150, like 130 pounds, 35 pounds. I was in high school. And like I ran up and I had my earphone. I don't know why my first instinct was like to take off my earphones and put it in my pocket. So I'm running up to a fight where I'm outnumbered with guys who are taller and bigger and older than me,
Yeah.
pulling my earphones out, dude. And then he just turns around and he fucking clocks me.
No way.
Dude, I go flying back like 3 feet. My tooth flies out. I swear to God, I catch it in midair, dude. I fall down and like I put it in my pocket and then I get up to fight.
No, you did not.
I swear to God, dude, it was the adrenaline. Dude, like the fact that I caught my tooth in midair and put it in my pocket.
As if you were gonna put it back in later, like.
Yeah, and then I just got up and he just punched me again.
Really? Yeah. And your cousin was robbed successfully, or?
No, he was able to throw it like behind a tree.
Really?
Yeah, and then this was like the smart thing that I did. I just like moved it towards like we were kind of by a main street, so I was like backing up like to like
Get to the main area.
So it was like a bunch of cars, and then they just took off.
Damn, that shit really happens, huh? I guess don't walk around here at night.
Yeah,
Because it was around here that you got robbed. When you were robbed.
When I was robbed here, yeah, I was here. But,
damn.
I mean, people get robbed everywhere.
Do you think if you had pepper spray, you would have used it on them, or were you just still giving it up?
Nah, I would have gave it up, dude. If they would have got like, see, that's the thing. I didn't want to escalate the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know. You can't have pride in those situations because you get stabbed in the neck or something.
Yeah, so like when he was walking in, I was like, I'm gonna write a joke about this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah, that's like my big thing. Like, I'll show you.
Should have taken a photo of him or something. But then
Nah.
he'll see you do
No,
it.
I keep fantasizing about like seeing him in the street, like in the grocery store. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you owe me $16.
Yeah, I think the best thing you could do in situations like that is live stream.
What?
Yeah, because and tell your audience to screen record. This is too much, but
What the fuck?
this is my theory because it's like now they're on camera, so anything they do, it's like, all right, go ahead, kill me, but you're gonna go to prison because you're on live stream. It's gonna be saved to my Instagram. And
Well, dude, a bunch of these fools are idiots. Like they'll live stream themselves committing crimes and they upload it.
Yeah,
for,
that's true. You can't
they'll-
really use
they'll
logic.
Fucking do 25 to life for a couple of likes, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like some of these guys like in like that are robbing people. I mean, aside from like for the financiers, they're also idiots, dude.
Yeah.
They're also like dumbasses.
Yeah, that's a great point. I guess I can't really. Yeah, you can't out logic them.
That'd be funny. Like do it, and everybody will see your face. He'll take my phone from me and be like, look.
Right.
And
Then they
he'll
go
be
to
like,
prison.
and then he'll like throw his at.
Yeah, yeah. And then they go to prison for life. And
And then he just gets famous.
dude.
He has
Yeah,
a
you're
successful
right. You're
career.
right. Yeah, I'm glad we have this combo because now if it ever comes down to it, I will not try that. I will just
Yeah.
give them. But I never have cash, so I don't know what they would do. Maybe they'd take my
Yeah,
phone.
that's what I was thinking about. Like if I didn't have any cash, because I never had cash. That was just like a weird and odd time that I had cash.
Yeah. Damn. Have you ever almost died?
Yes, dude. I was doing parkour with my friends.
Really?
Dude, this is like my thing. I'm a huge scary cat, but I keep hanging out with people that do like crazy shit, and then I try to not let fear stop me from doing things. So one time, my friends were like in Riverside in California. We're like, dude, let's like parkour around the city. We're like drinking too, and it was like noon. So we're just like going around like parks, just like flipping off trees and like parkour, just being funny. And then one of my homies goes into like an alley and like jumps on like a fire escape and just starts climbing up a thing. And it was like parkour, you guys. And I was like, all right, this is too serious. And then it was 3 of us. But then my other homies started doing it, and then they went up, and I was like, shit, dude. So then I did it, but I'm like just shaking the whole time. Like, so we're just going through like rooftop buildings, like garages, like hotels and shit. Like, and then there's one where we had to jump from building to building. And
No way.
dude, and they did it, and then I'm like on this jump, just shaking. I'm like, I don't. They're like, dude, just do it. It was probably like a 4-foot jump, but still the drop was like
Death.
like 5 stories, 5-6 stories, and I was like, all right. And there's a video of this, dude. I go and I jump and I land on the ledge, and I slip a little bit, like my foot slips, and I almost fall. And the only way to get down was through a parking garage, but there was a fence that was barbed wired, so we had to like climb through on the ledge around the barbed wire, and then you're home free. So they did it. So one goes by, he does it. My other homie goes by, his sweater gets stuck. He just like rips it off and he goes, woo. And then it's me, I'm the fucking scary cat, dude.
Yeah.
So then I'm doing it. So I'm holding on the ledge. Below me is like 6 stories to a dark alley, dude. Over here is barbed wire, and over there I'm home free. So I'm climbing around. I get one arm around the barbed wire, and then I get this leg around, and then I slashed my arm right here.
Oh, is that what that scar is?
Yeah, this is barbed wire. I slashed this. I'm like, oh shit. So then I'm holding on. My shirt gets stuck. My pants get stuck. And then I try to like move my leg, but I realized the barbed wire is in and out of my leg and my arm. Like I have a scar right here. Like that's where the barbed wire goes in and that's where it comes out. So then I'm holding on. I'm like, and it's just all in me, dude. So and then my friend doesn't know this yet. He's just like, dude, like just rip the pants. Fuck it, just rip the pants. I'm like, dude. I'm like, well, I'm just trying to stay calm. I'm like, dude, it's not in. I'm like, it's in my leg. It's in my arm. And they're like, oh, and just like a silence, dude. So I'm just holding and just trying to like maneuver my way to get out of the barbed wire. And I just keep slashing myself. And then a security comes up. And then I was like, yo, hey. And I'm like, yo, I'm just holding on. I'm like, could you open that door? Could you open that door? Because there was a door on this side. Yeah. He was like, oh. I was like, all right. And then he goes around and he unlocks the door. And like I maneuver myself the other way. And I go like through the door. And then my friends are like, whoa, yeah. And we all just like run away so we don't get tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
We all like started running and like we hear the security go, hey. And we're like, oh shit. And then like we're like running. But he goes, you forgot your phone.
Doesn't even care to give you a ticket.
And then we just stopped and like walked back. I mean, we're like, thanks. And we turned around, we ran away.
Yeah, as if you needed to.
Phone.
You ever do stand up in Mexico?
No, but I want to. I don't know how to be funny in Spanish.
Is that really? Is it harder, or is it like a different skill set? You think?
I feel like it's a different rhythm. They also like a lot of impressions.
They do.
Yeah, and
do you watch any Spanish?
Yeah.
Stand-ups?
My first favorite comedian was a Mexican.
Really?
So, yeah, Adal Ramones. He used to have a show called Otro Rollo, and me and my mom would stay up watching it.
That's interesting. Is there like, you think there's like legends of comedy that just never broke through to English because they're just like,
so fuck, what's his name, dude? Perushis. he tours California with like some like Mexican American comedians. And one time he was like on a radio show, and my dad told me this, that he was like just bragging about how much money he made just touring for a month in California as a Mexican comic.
Really?
Yeah, and like a lot of like Latino comics tell me like to like do it, that there's a lot of money in Spanish comedy, that they pay more. But
are you good at impressions?
No, I'm not good at impressions.
That's crazy to think about. It's like, because if you ask me, it's like, oh, who are the best comedians of all time? It's like, oh, George Carlin, Bill Burr, Louis C.K., freaking Dave Chappelle, whatever. Yeah. But it's like all English speakers. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, you don't watch Spanish comedy.
Well, that's what I mean, though. It's like there's like 1,000 languages of possible greatest comedians that we'll never see because we don't speak it.
Eugenio Derbez. He's a Mexican comedic actor that he started like in a pretty big movie out here called Under the Same Moon. And and Instructions Not Included. I don't know if you've seen these two movies. They were huge in Latin American.
Right.
One of them is about just like a kid crossing the border by himself and like getting like caught up in all these like things. And then this will the rest, like he's in it. And then Instructions Not Included is about him. He's just like a player, lives on the beach, and like some chick drops off a kid, and he's like, "This is your son or daughter." And he's like, "Oh shit." They're really good movies. But this fool Adal Ramones, he's like a straight up stand up. And like he has a weekly show where he would do a 30-minute long monologue, and then he would have like 30 minutes of him like interviewing somebody. So
30-minute monologue.
Yeah, dude, it was insane. Like I don't know if he had these writers or stuff, but still like 30 minutes, dude, once a week.
It's crazy.
Like brand new material. It was insane, dude, insane.
Damn. Who's your favorite comedian?
So Seinfeld was the one that really got me into it.
Really?
Yeah, Seinfeld was my first English favorite comedian.
That's cool.
And then I don't know, I really like Louis.
Yeah, Louis good.
Yeah, bro.
Louis the reason I even wanted. I have this tattaoo from the Comedy Cellar because like I watched Louis in high school. I was like, oh, I want to perform there.
Dude, when I got here, getting off the West 4th Street train.
Yeah, it's like iconic. Yeah.
Dude, I love that. I went to Broadway Comedy Club and Noah was hosting a show, and then he goes, "Look, yo, you want to do some time?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." And so he like goes to bring me up, and then I give him like a kiss, like, you know, like the crowd thinks it's funny. So I do my set or whatever, and then I'm about to get off, and then I'm gonna well, they thought it was funny. I'm gonna do it again. So Noah like comes up, and then we like give each other a kiss, and like the crowd like kind of like chuckles, like all right. And then I'm like, well, we gotta double down, and like Noah puts his leg around me, and then I like lift him up, and I slam him against the wall. We pretend like we're fucking, and I think it's gonna kill. It bombed so hard, it's just silent. And you see your lady go, "Oh my god!"
No way. That's what did Noah say? What did he say after he went up? Like,
Oh, I got off.
yeah, but what did Noah say?
Noah just said, "All right," and then we brought up the next fucking guy. It's the worst way to bring up a fucking comedian.
Was the set good before that?
Mine's yes. I don't know what happened.
I could just see that. That is hilarious.
Like, I thought I was gonna kill, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
And like, you know, they're all like tourists too and shit, 'cause it's at Broadway.
yeah.
But it was packed. It was hilarious.
They're like, yeah, New York's weird. Like, they're really open about that stuff. Wow.
Oh, but the worst hit was you were there for my worst hit too. It was also at Broadway. It was for you.
Oh, that dude. Yeah. Well, I remember that. And I remember being nervous going up because like it was quiet. And I had one of my better sets after you.
Yeah.
But I like going up after somebody does bad.
Yeah.
Not that you did bad.
Oh,
They
no,
just
I
weren't.
did. I did.
You know what it was? I think it's because it was all like people from like Jersey, like and like the red part of Jersey, and maybe they were just like,
So I'm having flashbacks, dude. Because I'm like, well, the crowd at Broadway was all from Jersey. Now I'm in Jersey, and then I'm like, well, I don't know. I was so nervous. I'm like, they already hate me. And then like Yorgos goes up, and he does like, you know, like he does his thing, and they're loving it, dude. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna hate me.
Yorgos just says, for context, love you, Yorgos, but he says horrific shit that like you just can't say, and it's like, and he doubles down. Sweetheart off stage, but on stage, it's like, what the hell? Where is this coming from? And so for them to laugh at that as a Mexican guy, I can see why you're like, oh god.
Well, and then also I'm not like a dirty guy or like a controversial guy. Like I'm just up there being like silly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, and you know this and you know that. And then Yorgos up there like, and these fucking entered the race.
I've had two people from that show. My dad said this.
Yeah.
And another buddy said this, and I've never thought this about you, but because you have an accent, they were like, "Oh, sometimes I didn't know what he was saying." It's like, really? I'm pretty sure I didn't think so. I could
For us, people. I've improved a lot in that, dude. I'm pretty sure I'm talking fast right now, but I talk really fast.
I can always tell what you're saying. I don't know. It doesn't even like you don't have like a very thick accent to me.
Well, that's because you're an Adderall, dude, and you're like really tuned in on what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't blinked once this entire time.
But to the sober person, they're like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I speak in run-on sentences.
You've known English your whole life, or did you?
No, I just learned.
Really? How recently?
Like 18 years ago.
So yeah, for a long time, yeah.
I'm 27. I learned English probably like in first grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was born here, thank God.
Yeah.
And then my grandpa got sick, so my mom took me back to Mexico, and I lived there for about 2 or 3 years.
When?
Well, like 2 to like 5.
Oh, so that's why it took you a while.
So I just knew Spanish.
I see.
And then I came back, and then my mom, she put me with a Mexican teacher. Her name was Miss Gomez. And somebody was like, don't put her with Miss Gomez. She's going to speak Spanish to him, and he's not going to learn English. So they put me with a black teacher. Her name was Miss Rita Kadeshar, dude. One of the best teachers in the world.
Really?
Yeah, her husband was a manager of a McDonald's. So like, once every summer, we would have like our class would get that McDonald's to ourselves. We just party there, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a shit.
I'm friends with some of my teachers on Facebook that I had in like elementary school.
Yeah,
it's a very weird thing because it's like
you see them like at family events, and you're like, oh,
not family events,
like,
but yeah,
online.
but like I mean, it's just weird because it's like, whoa, like he knew, like, you know, Mr. Sulak knew me in second grade, and now I'm like posting like, anybody got weed? No, I don't post that on Facebook. Selling Adderall if anybody needs. Mr. Sulak's like, yo, we're doing that reading tent tomorrow. Can I get some Hattie?
But I've had great teachers.
What you went to college or no?
Yeah, I hated it, dude. I went to college for one semester twice. So like I went to like try to like play soccer, and I didn't make the team, and I was like, well, what the fuck am I here for then?
Maybe an education?
No, dude. Dude, I never wanted to go to school. And then the coach was like, well, your first touch sucks, dude. And I was like, oh,
Your first what?
my first touch. And when someone passes you the ball and you get it, you gotta have control of the ball immediately. But for me, like sometimes it'll just bounce off my foot and like.
So your second touch was good, but the first touch, yeah.
So dude, so what I was like, well, fuck this. What I did, dude, I didn't have a job at the time. Still living with my parents. I went to the gym, to the racquetball courts. I would spend hours in there, just like hitting the ball hard as fuck against the wall and just catching it.
Yeah.
Hitting it and just catching it, hitting it and like just catching it. Like my first, we're just only working on my first touch. And then I went to some tryouts, and then I ended up being like in a Swedish team for a little bit. Like they flew me out to Sweden, so like that.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that was the shit. And then I went to Sweden, and then they got me because of my first touch, because I was doing like literally, dude, for months just working on my first for like 5 hours.
That's cool.
Like 5 hours a day. Yeah.
That coach did you a huge favor then.
Yeah, dude. And then that day, dude, that I got like they got me for the Swedish team. I was driving home. I fell asleep because they changed the tryout time from like 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. and I live like 2 hours away. So I had to wake up at 4 a.m. I got to the thing and we did the tryouts or whatever. I went to Denny's. I had a steak. And then on the drive back.
You had a Denny's steak in Sweden?
No. This is in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And then on the drive back from the I fell asleep and I crossed 5 lanes and I hit the middle. You know, like the median lane. Yeah, I crashed against that. And I was like, shit, dude. And I was with my homie. His name's Asani. I was trying to be nice, so I let him like play music, and he was playing like gospel music, and that shit made me fall asleep. And then he woke up. He was like, "What happened? What happened?"
Oh, he was asleep too.
Yeah. So it was just like two just sleepy.
Imagine dying to gospel music. It's like so fitting. I've fallen asleep at the wheel too because I used to roof. Yeah. It was like flat roofing, and I was actually driving behind my dad.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yeah.
I was driving behind my dad, and I literally just fell asleep, and then I just like hit the median because I was on the left lane, and then we pulled over to the side. He's like, "What the hell happened?" I was like, "I fell asleep." He's like, "All right, well, you ready? I guess we'll keep going, right?" I'm like, he's like, "What are you gonna do? We still got this car in the middle of the parkway."
Dude, that's what happened to me. I called my dad, and then I was like, "Yo," and he was like, "Are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah." There's like, "Does the car still turn on?" And like, it turned on, but like my steering wheel was like this, so I was like, I turned it on. I was like, "Fuck it, let's go," and I just drove home with like my alignment like this, and then I got home and we just looked at the car and I was like,
"Wait, why didn't you just go like that? Like, why did you see what I'm saying?"
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to remind myself of the mistake that I made earlier.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I drive like this, I won't fall asleep ever again.
I see. Yes.
So I don't know, I was hurt, and then I was in Sweden like a month later, and then like it was like really cold over there. My sciatica to get inflated, and then they sent me back, and I was like, all right, well that's it for soccer, and I tried going to college again, and I took like for my extracurricular, it was like an improv class, and I went, and I was like, this sucks. That I hate improv.
Improv's hard, dude.
Improv in college, like these people suck, and then I just like school isn't for me. I started truck driving.
Truck driving, how was that? Is that cool?
Truck driving? Yeah, dude. The week I turned 21, I applied. Oh, like on my birthday. They hit me up. Oh, sorry, I called when I was 20. Like, well, you gotta be 21 to work for this company. And then they on my birthday I started to work with them when I was 21. But yeah, it's depressing, dude. Like I'm like a little social fella. So it's lonely. It's
You could practice singing. I like singing. I like driving to sing.
Well, I was driving with another guy. It was teams. We did teams.
Oh, so you can't be singing.
And then it's kind of like roommates, the way they pair you up with people. Because I had to fill out a thing, and it's you know, like you answer like a bunch of personal questions, and one of it was like, do you smoke cigarettes? And every now and then like I do or don't, and so I just put no. So like the guy that they paired me up with, we're like on the road. He's like, do you mind if I smoke? And I was like, nah, go ahead. Fucking smoke like 2 packs a day.
Really? You're just in there with him?
No, he did.
No, I'm saying, but like he's smoking and you just have to breathe it in.
And then I picked up a fucking habit. I was like, fuck, I got some Pall Malls. And I started smoking too.
Wait, but you wrote no, I thought.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, he was already doing it. I was like, oh, fuck it, let's smoke.
Damn. And then did you guys talk a lot or was it just a lot of silence?
Well, no, dude, because it's like 14-hour days. So you drive for 14 hours straight and then the other guy's asleep. And then you're exhausted too. You're like driving straight.
How often do you switch on and off?
Every 14 hours.
Oh, that's how. Oh, like you're literally living in the truck together.
Yeah. And dude, one time we got stuck. I think it was like somewhere up here, dude. I don't know if it was Pennsylvania or it was Pennsylvania or Ohio. We were driving to just it's called just bobtail, which means just a truck. We were looking for a trailer to take to another, another load. And then we got to the yard, and the security guard was like, well, your trailer is right there, but I don't know if you guys want to wait because it's been raining, snowing, and the ground is muddy. You might get stuck. And the guy was driving at the time. He was like, fuck it, let's just do it. We go up, and then we're like, we're doing good. And then we see the trailer, and we're like backing into it. And then like the drives, that's what you call they get stuck in the mud and you start spitting out. We're like, shit, dude. And it was like 11 p.m., dude. It was like a light drizzle.
Yeah.
Really cold. And I was like, damn. So we started like shoveling, and then like the guy helped me out for about like 20 minutes, and I was there for dude, I was like shirtless. I didn't have a shirt on. It was like 20, but I was like sweating, dude. I was like shoveling this. I was like throwing rocks into there, and then someone like, yo, like drop the suspension so you can like make it heavier in the bottom. You can probably get it out. So he goes inside, dude, and he like drops the suspension and like lowers, and then he puts it in gear and he takes it out, and it comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like thank God. And I go up to him, and this fool fucking looks at me, and he goes, I can't believe I did it.
Really? Like he did it all himself? That's so. You miss that job at all?
Well, when I go back to California, I do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, dude, I like it. You just listen to music, podcasts, you just drive. Time to think. I'm a badass, dude. I'm a fucking badass truck driver. Yeah, dude. I'm
good at it.
Yeah, dude. Like comedy. Like, oh, you try to be like humble, but like I fucking
truck driving.
Fucking dude, I kill it.
Yeah,
dude. One time I was taking a load to San Diego. My girlfriend works there, and I was meeting up with her, so she would give me food. It was loaded, so it was like gross 80,000 pounds. The load was 40,000 pounds. I parallel parked uphill, dude, between two trucks, and then I got out. I was like, dude, I'm about to get so much props right now. I go up to my girl to get like my torta and shit that she had. And she was like, that took you a long time. I was like, dude, asshole. Like, you know how hard that shit is?
Well, you got a podcast. What's it called?
Yeah, it's the Keep On Trucking podcast. I do it in my van.
Always in your van, or you do it elsewhere too?
I know, it's just in my van.
Okay.
The fucking truck, my van gets so hot, I just leave. Because I used to record it in the morning. But now I wake up in the morning, I'm covered in sweat. I'm borderline having
You can't put on AC or anything during the night, right? Like
yeah, I do. I have like a little fan too.
You can't. I feel like if you get too drunk and you fall asleep in there, you like overheat and die.
That's what I said the other day. And then somebody said, "Why don't you just don't get too drunk?" And I was like, "That's not an option."
Yeah, yeah.
Your boy has to have one.
Well, Frankie, plug your socials.
Yeah, Franklin _ Hoy HOY on Instagram. Frankie Hoy on every. If you just look up Frankie Hoy with an IE, Frankie, I'm the only one that comes up. It's just me and then like an Asian chick.
Sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's funny because I made up that last name, and then like there's like some Asian chick.
What's your real last name?
Hernandez.
Oh.
Yeah. But like if you look up Frank Hernandez, it like fucking like all of my relatives come up. So
yeah.